If you can get a job elsewhere doing what you're doing, then you're free. You can be an employee here, you can be an employee there, it doesn't matter. If you're a waiter, you're free. If you become a company person, then there is an aspect to it. The company wants to make sure that you're completely useless outside the company.
To define a company
and
person.
maximally useful inside. I mean, as what it used to be called the company man, and there were men not in the past. I gave an example of IBM. IBM laid off people, I think, in the 90s. And people, I remember, like 15 years later, were still looking for a job. Because outside IBM, they couldn't function. So you want employees because they can be punished much more than a contractor. So you create a class of people who can be punished if they let you down. And that class of people, because then they're not hireable anymore, they're ruined, their reputation, they depend on reputation. And that class of people, who are not free. So it's not whether you're an employee or not, but whether you're, you're a member of that class of people.
Being a company person is bad enough, but you say that being a company's person, someone who is thinking
exactly.
about staying within the industry, that's even worse.
If you work for a company for a long time, if you have on your resume this record, you're signaling to others that you're not going to go crazy, that you're sort of like housebroken. You're not a wolf, but a dog. Wolves are very hard to manage. So you can do a contract with a wolf if you're safe, but you can't own a wolf.
And do you think it's bad for society and for the economy to have so many dogs and not wolves? Do you think this is a good thing to companies?
It is, because what happens is that the way society works is the wolves create stuff. And then the remaining people come in and just maintain. And because of taxation, because of the system, they get compensated off of the risks taken by someone else. But if you notice, animals in the wild have much higher mortality than animals in the zoo, and much shorter life expectancy. So you got to know what you want.
We also talk about the idea of staying close to your markets, of knowing who you're doing your trades with. As you think about companies who are chasing scale, or entrepreneurs who are chasing scale, when you try to go from being small to being massive, your market becomes kind of faceless.
So the minute you're dealing with faceless people, you have different ethical rules prevailing, and effectively most people lose their humanity. You see, there's no shame. Humans have shame. An artisan has shame. If you give a bad product, someone making a generic product doesn't have any shame if there's a defect. So this is why I believe that the optimal scale to make people happy is an artisan workshop. Collection of a lot of artisan workshops works a lot better than big, large corporations, and we're heading there.
How does that tie in with the rise of the gig economy? Do you think at all about, is this a good thing or a bad thing, where you have people who are working for themselves as part of a large platform? You're an Uber driver, you're working for yourself, but you are on Uber's platform. Is this a good thing? Are they artisans?
I think it's a very good thing. No, it's artisan. And actually in France, when you walk into a taxi, you have the rules that apply to artisans that are classified as artisan, whether you make pottery or you drive a taxi. I have other arguments in favor of an artisan society, is that you have your soul in the game. Because if you're to become tomorrow an artisan, you would select what makes you tick. So if you like to make pottery, you're going to be happier making pottery at $18 an hour than frying fish for twice as much. Okay, so you would select what fits you. When you work for a corporation, it's not that easy. It's not that obvious. So people will gravitate from high school, from childhood, towards something they enjoy, and they don't feel the Monday morning blues or Sunday night blues that they experience when you work for a large corporation. Companies today spend 12 years in the S&P 500. Maybe 10 years, I'm not quite sure.
The takeaway is, if you're an employee, you can't expect, these companies aren't going to protect you anyways. They're not going to be around.
They're not going to be around.
Got to be an artist.
You have a different pact with the companies.
One of the things you talk about in the book is young people typically come up to you and say, I want to change the world. I want to give back.
Yes.
Your advice back to them is, do not do that. Don't go and try to solve the macro. Don't try to solve big problems. Can you explain what you mean?
Yes. So when people tell me, what should I do to help the world? I tell them, try to make money. Start a business. We have so few people starting businesses. And you must help others around you on a micro level. Like your garage attendant, buy him a gift at your end if you use the same garage. If you go to a restaurant frequently, get the waiter something, right? You see the idea? That's how you help the world. You don't have some bureaucrat distributing stuff. You're doing it with your own eyes. Someone has a child in college and some difficulties in your circle. Again, you help out. You see, express yourself via more organic means.